nice art. I've always thought this picture kind of looks like it was still on the ground, Wonderland, before it went up into the sky with the boardwalk and the pier since they're way up here. But that hasn't been confirmed quite yet. The artists just sent me the picture and thought that it would be fun to share. Here's a fun one. Originally, I guess we intended to switch out the drinks for the Buzz Cafe. There was going to be a menu and you could order multiple things, but for whatever reason that fell through. But these were the original advertisements that we had. There were going to be posters put up around the game. Yeah, it is pretty cool, especially since we never got to use it. It's still nice to see the art for it. I have most of the artwork saved at my office computer, so I can't share those this stream. I'll save them for the next time around. But our art director, Kristen, gave me a ton of physical copies, and I took pictures with my phone since I don't have a scanner. There's still dozens of original headshots, the very first sketch that we ever had for the game, and a bunch of designs like this that I can share with y'all tonight. I'm sure some of you have seen this image before since we use it on a lot of our really old ads, but originally this was Weatherby. As you can see, he's evolved a bit since then. Now, I can't say for sure because the whole existence of the giant talking bear has never entirely been explained, but I do know that Weatherby, in a bunch of web hunts and old dialogue for the game, he always refers to himself as Colette's keeper, so it can kind of be inferred that somehow through Flo, her teddy bear came to be an actual person. I don't think he's Edwin in disguise, but that would be interesting. You never know, it might be. Some original art for Derek that we used to use for a lot of our original ads. I'm still not sure why the actual avatar doesn't have a tattoo like this. We always just put him with a visor. For whatever reason, the tattoo might not have been able to be implemented in the game quite like the original character design, but It's still funny to see his eyes and nose all colored in like a fake visor. And Derek is named after our CEO and founder, Derek Morton. Yes, it would be cool if we could have earrings. A lot of the NPCs do have piercings now that I've noticed all close up. Funnily enough, the NPC, it's conveniently, Derek is actually in a band and he does play an instrument. Originally, he did want to be a rock star just like Derek, so the NPC was sort of modeled after his childhood dream. And Zoe does have a piercing, yes, her nose is pierced. Her necklaces are really cool. I wish we had more chokers that were layered like that in the game. I'm surprised that we don't. We sell all three necklaces as separate items, but never any linked ones like hers. Here's a fun one of Edwin. That would be really cool. Yeah, the NPC. The NPC's original designs do differ a little bit from what they wear in the game. Or at least their original designs do. He's smirking somewhat. That would be a pretty cool aura. I'll have to suggest that for Halloween. A fun one of Niccolo. He basically looks the exact same in the game. His design hasn't changed too much over the years. Although he does lack a surfboard. I've actually suggested that we make the Band-Aid something of a Mr. Moles item. We could have different versions of it, but for whatever reason, the code for the Band-Aid is surprisingly difficult to replicate, so we would have to create it from scratch, and we just haven't had the time to add new Mr. Mole items quite yet. But maybe someday. He probably bumped his nose surfing, honestly. Oh, here's the original Annie. If only we had a bandana like the one that she's actually wearing in the game and not one that makes you look like an egghead. We've used it in a lot of previous ads, so I'm sure it's floating around somewhere online. Here's one of Otto as well. Now, the little robot next to him, I'm not sure if that was Dougbot prototype or if that's just another robot that he might have made. It's in a lot of old original sketches, so I'm assuming that this is what Dougbot almost looked like. Yes, little Doug.1 is smiling. It's really cute. It is really cute. And as I've recently learned, apparently Otto and Colette currently have a bit of a rivalry going. They're rivaling stores, apparently. They had some kind of fashion showdown. Years ago, some of you might remember, there was an Our World magazine. We did actually print out physical copies, but as far as I know, none of them were actually distributed, but it was posted online for a time, so some really old players might have caught glimpses of it. And there's just a small article about how they were rivals and their pets got into fights. It was very bizarre. This was the cover of the magazine. The quality's a little poor because I just took it with my phone, but you can kind of get an idea. It was floating around way, way early in 2009. It didn't stick around for too long. It was kindly suggested by Johnny Ornery Octopus that we get the entire staff to sign one of these magazines and auction it off at one of our Twitch streams, just a random giveaway, and one of you could win it, a signed copy. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get the entire office to sign it, but I'm sure I could get the core members and the original founders to sign it and do something like that. Yeah, it wouldn't be too hard to do. I could just pick a random person from the stream with a random number generator. And then we would just have to get a couple people to sign. I just had to pick a day where everyone would be in the office. In the future, there will be lots of contests and giveaways during these streams, but since this is the first one, I haven't had time to organize anything. This is the first page of the magazine, though. I can show you guys screenshots at least.